Hello Crafty Mavens, it's Katty. Welcome back. Today I'm here for Twerk It Thursday. First I'm showing you our inspiration for this week, this beautiful flowy dress. And this is a sketch that Nicole and I are going to follow today from the Sketch and Scrap blog, which you can check out their website as well. This is the layout I created and you'll see me create that now. So I'm going to begin with some cheesecloth. And I just picked this up at my local Publix, so you can really get this anywhere. And basically when I saw this inspiration piece, I just immediately loved it. And I knew that I wanted to somehow create that, just that flowiness and that texture from that dress, because it's a very flowy, beautiful dress. So that's why I brought in the cheesecloth. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using some of my mist to mist those strips of the cheesecloth. The first color that I used was the Lindy Stamp Gang Starburst spray, and that was in the Cosmopolitan pink. Then I take this Heidi Swapp Amethyst, which I sprayed some Mr. Huey's Shine into it just to lighten it a bit. And then I'm taking the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Mustard. And last one I'm taking is the Dilutions, that's the After Midnight, which is that pretty blue color. So just kind of getting the colors that I kind of took from that picture. And it's funny, I actually looked up the picture on Pinterest and it doesn't have as much blue as I see in the picture that I have. But it's okay. I mean, I think it looks cool. I really like that blue color. That Dilution spray is so vibrant and so pretty, so I'm glad I used it in the layout. But yeah, it has it's more of like purple, pink, and a bit of yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a black background, which is not the norm. You don't normally use black backgrounds, it's usually white, but I used black. And what I'm doing is I'm separating because this cheesecloth comes folded. So it has a few layers. I'm just taking off one of the layers just to kind of place those strips of color, just kind of one on top of the other, and just kind of layer those, so just to kind of spread out the colors. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it just looks like a big old mess right now because I'm just kind of trying to get everything how I want it. And again, I left the bottom white on purpose because I'm kind of trying to mimic that dress. I knew as soon as I saw that dress that I wanted to translate that onto my layout as best as I could. So this was my interpretation. So I am taking some Mod Podge, and I find that Mod Podge is the best to get these things down when there's some kind of fabric like this, especially this cheesecloth. So I just put some on the bottom, and then I'm going to put some on top. And then I do put some on the top portion of the strips, because since my layout is going to stand, if I don't put something up there to hold up the strips on the top, then they'll fall and it's not going to look as pretty. So just taking my tweezer and kind of fixing a piece that moved, and then I'm just using my heat tool to dry it, just to get that Mod Podge nice and dry so that I can continue working without making a big old mess. So it just takes a minute to dry. Once it's dry, it's clear, and it's fine, but it does take a minute to dry. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I had walked away. I went to go get my picture, and I'm pulling the Serendipity, the Dear Lazy Serendipity paper pad, because those are the papers that I'm going to be using for this. I decided to take this paper to mat the whole back of the black paper, of the black background, because I wanted something to lighten it up a bit, because it's black, you kind of don't want it to be so dark, I don't want it to look dark and dingy. So I did add a lot of pops of white to this. So I'm taking that paper, and that paper is from the Dear Lizzie Serendipity line. So the photo, as I was saying, that I'm scrapbooking is a photo from, it was last year. It was my high school, my 10-year anniversary. What is it? Not 10-year anniversary. Yeah, 10-year, or not anniversary, I'm sorry. High school reunion, 10-year high school reunion. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm getting old. So So that was that, and it's just a picture of my boyfriend and I at the reunion, and we're just in front of this these balloons that that just you know, said 2004, which was the year that I graduated. So you know, and the picture itself actually has some of the lights, like it has a white background, some curtains, and then it has some lights reflecting on the curtains, which are pink and blue, which I thought, wow, that's just perfect, because it, you know, it's the colors from the dress. So I thought that was perfect. And then we're wearing black and pink and white, so you know, I mean, it couldn't have been a better picture for this inspiration. I think anyway. And then since the balloons do have gold, that's why I decided to bring gold into my layout. So there I go. I just layered a few pieces of paper, and they're both again from the Dear Lizzy Serendipity line, and I kept them just white. I did matte my photo on black, you know, to make it pop a little bit. It already has a white border around it, but I decided to matte it on black to just make it pop a little bit more. And then I took that blue doily, which is from Michaels, and I took and I cut it in half. So I'm going to use one half in the bottom where you see, and the other half I'm going to use on top on my little cluster that I'm going to create on the top. Then I took that black doily from, it's from Michaels as well, it's from Recollections, and I'm going to place one on top and one on the bottom just for more texture. And I'm just taking little strips of black to add between the two white papers, just to kind of separate them a bit, because I felt like, you know, just white on white kind of gets lost. So just a little strip of black goes a long way, and it makes a difference, and it makes the whole thing pop off the page, which is what I like. You know, I don't like things to blend in too much. I like things to pop, especially around the photo, because you want that area to be the main. Even though you have a busy layout, you want that area, or at least I want that area to be the focal point of my page. So as far as papers, here's another paper. This is the same paper that I used to matte the whole layout, and I just cut a piece and I'm going to place it behind my photo. And again, I'm just trying to keep my papers simple. I don't want to you know, use too many crazy papers or anything, because this is you know, the background itself is already busy. So so I had pulled some embellishments, and most of them are going to be gold and black, as you can see. A lot of these are just mixed embellishments. I know, like that happy, and a lot of those are from the My Mind's Eye on Trend ephemera pack. And then a lot of those are actually, that little piece right there I'm cutting up is from the I Am collection, from the Simple Stories I Am collection, which I'm working with now. So I thought I would cut it up, because I thought the way it was, I just wasn't going to be able to use it. And then a lot of these embellishments that I'm actually using are embellishments that I've received in pocket letters. So yeah, I actually started taking apart my pocket letters, because, you know, at first I didn't want to take them apart, but, you know, I realized, you know, these ladies are sending me this amazing stuff, I need to use it. So I started taking it apart, and I started trying to color sort my embellishments. So we'll see how that goes. That's why you can see I have a lot of gold in there, because I went directly to all the gold pieces, and I just started pulling things from there. So I'm just cutting a piece of that white paper, just because I want the layers to be a little bit tighter, just because I want my background to show, you know, because that pretty cheesecloth, I want it to show. So that Good Times is a foam in gold, the gold foil foam, and I got that in a pocket letter as well. And gosh, I wish I could remember everyone who sent me each little piece, but I can't. I honestly can't. I kind of just took things apart and just started color sorting, and I didn't think to, you know, write, okay, this person sent me this, but thank you to everyone who I've been trading pocket letters with, because all these goodies are amazing. So I'm going to place the Good Times over that tag, that black tag, and I'm just kind of trying to see how I want that to go. And then that happy is the one from the, pretty sure that's from the On Trend, the My Mind's Eye collection. So I'm just playing around with all the little embellishments that I had picked, and I'm just trying to see what it is that I want to use, what I don't want to use. So I thought I would use that love up there, but I don't end up using that. And then on the bottom, on the right bottom of the photo, the little tiny puffy sticker that I'm going to use. It says no way, I believe. I think it says no way. Because no way, you know, I can't believe it's been 10 years. And then the other one says, the little banner says, this is my life. But this is my story, actually. I'm sorry, I don't have the layout in front of me. And then there's these Mr. Huey's, I don't even know what they are. They're just shapes. Which I'm going to use, and I'm going to mist those as well. I'm just trying to see right now what I can use. So I'm taking those little Mr. Huey's. They're like fabric, so they're mistable. And then I'm just taking in the purple, I'm going to do a couple in the pink and a couple in the yellow. And then I'm just kind of randomly placing those around just as embellishments. You know, those are kind of hard to work with because you don't know what the heck do you do with those. But, you know, I mean, I know I can find a way to use them, and I know that, you know, I think they look cute. They just add a little touch of texture and interest to the page. So I did the purple, I did the pink, and then now I'm doing the, or I'm going to do the yellow. Yeah, I had put 2 pink ones on top, but I'm going to go ahead and make one of those yellow. So just to add. And just kind of scattering those in my little cluster areas. So I'm trying to kind of have 3 cluster areas, even though they're not really defined cluster areas, because I have that cluster on the bottom right of my photo. I have the top one, and then I'm going to create another one on the left side of the photo as well. And then I add a few enamel dots and stuff to the top right of the photo. So I'm taking hot glue and I'm gluing this down just because I figure that's going to be the best way to get this down. You know, I'm not going to even try my ATG or anything like that because it's not going to be as efficient as the hot glue. You know, when you're sticking fabric to paper, you know, I think hot glue is always going to be your best bet. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And I decided I like my title like that. I was gonna title it Happy Good Times. Happy Good Times. What does that little tag say on the bottom? Geez, I should have this in front of me. I'm gonna tell you right now what it says. Yeah, so anyway, I decided to have that as my title, but then I also added a little epoxy sticker that says I remember. So so I thought that was perfect. So it's I remember Happy Good Times. Yeah, it just says favorites under that little tag, so that doesn't really is not part of my title, but I remember Happy Good Times is the title of the layout. So then I take that Mr. Huey's in the shine, and I was testing it out because I actually hadn't used this on black before, so I hadn't used it at all, I think. So I was testing it out on a piece of paper to see if it worked, if it was going to show through, and it does. So I thought I was done, but then I added some more little stars, some Heidi Swap stars, and some little gold tiny dot stickers. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for checking out the Crafty Maven Getaway. I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.